Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Meenaal Fatma and welcome to my class. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you about something very important. So you have to just give me a second before I move further in what I'm speaking, because I just need to make sure that I'm connected with my phone so that I don't miss on any of your comments. Just give me a second. Let's just wait for a couple of seconds to be sure that it's connected. All those who are joining in, guys, keep introducing yourself. So I think it's connected. I think so. Great. So for all those who are watching and listening to me for the first time, and if you're not yet part of my different social media groups, make sure you do join me. I'm available on Telegram, Instagram and Facebook, and you can see the details right on the screen. Yeah, and this class is a part of Unacademy. If you are still not aware of Unacademy, let me quickly tell you. Unacademy is one of the largest learning platforms in our country, where we provide live classes to students, and you can now comfortably lie on your bed and study in peace. Yeah, so we have different types of classes which I will be elaborating on as I move forward. But before that, I want to quickly tell you about a YouTube channel which is you're currently in which you're currently watching the video in, which is Unacademy IELTS. And in case you encounter just a second, guys. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's working all good. Yep. So in case you encounter my different videos, and since because I make a lot of series, I have number of series. For example, I've recently started a series on common writing task 2 topics, and we had one session of it. Similarly, I've started with another series on YouTube itself under this channel, where I'm talking about most expected part 2 topics of your speaking test as well. So I have a number of series that are going on. I have made a number of series before as well. And in case you encounter suddenly a new video which is part 3, and you're curious about knowing what's there in part 2 and part 1, you can go to my playlist. I have 2 playlists under this particular channel, which is called Learns IELTS with Meenaal Fatma, and the other one is Classroom Talks with Meenaal Fatma. So all my videos are in these 2 playlists, but अगर आप फर्स्ट वाले पे जाओगे, so you're gonna have all my videos. So even the classroom talks are in the same playlist, but I've just made a separate playlist for that, because in classroom talks I talk about a lot of typically of the academic conversations, but yes, very important topics which you would be struggling with if you're planning to put up your applications while moving abroad. Yeah, so in case you want to watch my any other video, so you can go to the Learn IELTS with Meenaal Fatma playlist, and you'll find all the different 4 modules. And also there are a number of series that I've put up in terms of vocabulary, writing, reading, speaking, listening, so you can just give a look in all of them. So moving forward, today I'm going to be talking about IELTS speaking, about greeting the examiner. Now this part is very crucial to feel confident in the entire speaking test, and how you can utilize this efficiently is something that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, now before I do that, I'll quickly introduce myself. Hi guys, as I said, I'm Meenaal. Professionally, I'm an architect and an urban designer. I've done bachelor's from Bill Institute of Technology, and from there I moved to London, where I did MArch from A School of Architecture. I have lived, worked and studied in London for the past 2 years. I've also worked in some cities in India as well as in Dubai before I moved to London. I've given the exams myself, and the scores are in front of you. I've given IELTS as well as IELTS UKVI, and I've been taking classes for IELTS for almost 3 years, both in India as well as in UK. Okay, so that's a quick brief introduction about myself. And all those who are joining in, guys, keep introducing yourself. It's going to be great, just like I introduced myself. So we are communicating here, and also because this is a live chat, moment for you, you can, I think there are a couple of people there, so it's going to be great if you could introduce yourself. So yes, it's a lot more comfortable for me also, so I know whom I'm talking to instead of just talking to the screen. Yeah, great. So moving on, as I was saying, we'll be talking about the part 0 of your exam. I term it as part 0 because this is the part when you will not be tested, right? I'm sure you guys know, you will, if you go to a one-on-one examination, the audio recording would be recorded, the audio would be recorded, right? So before your part 1, part 2, part 3, you'll have a time where you will have a chance to greet the examiner and have an identification check. So I call it at part 0. This part is not scored. It is not put under the examination part. Okay, so it is just an initial part. The moment you enter the room, or even, yes, the moment you enter the room, so that's when these two things happen. You have to make sure that you greet the examiner well and your identification check is done. Right now, identification check को भी short form में ID भी मांग सकते हैं आप, so don't get confused, it's the same thing, and generally it's your passport, right? So these two things are done in your part 0, and I'll tell you why it's important also. Now, what happens is, everybody, literally everybody is in a lot of panicky situation during the speaking test, and trust me, it happens with everybody. You're not the only one, right? So what happens is, this initial couple of minutes that you get in your part 0, you can just utilize it to feel a lot more comfortable and get a little familiar with the entire situation, right? So now if you feel comfortable at this part, it can actually boost up your confidence that yes, you are getting familiar with the person you're going to give the test to, you're getting familiar with the entire setup, and you are good to go now, right? So this part is actually for you, it's for your good, to make you familiar with the environment around and just calm down, and then follow up with your part 1, part 2 and part 3, where actually test will be done. Okay, now in part 0 there are technically 4 questions, very easy 4 questions. So I'll be talking you through those 4 questions, and also I'll be giving you some useful tips in terms of, just give me a second. Yes, I will be giving you some useful tips. Let me just work out my pen tab, and all those who are joining in, guys, it's going to be great if you could introduce yourself. Great. Okay, like my pen tab. Yeah, got it. Got it. Yep. Sorry. So in terms, I'll also be sharing a lot of useful tips, and I'll be talking through how important it is, because it becomes an essential part where you can create a good first impression, which is yet very impactful and very strong, and boost up your confidence as well, right? So let's move forward to the first question. The first question is, which the examiner would ask you: good afternoon or evening, whatever the time of the day it is. My name's Sheetal Verma. After that, they could either ask you, what's your full name? Or they can say, could you please tell me your full name? Either of the 2 questions they can ask you, right? Now, the best answer for this could be, good afternoon. Either if it's afternoon or evening, whatever time of the day it is. Generally it's going to be evening. अगर आप चारों आपके module same day पे हो रहे हैं, तो it comes down to evening. If you're giving exams on the different day, like अगर आपका listening, writing and reading are on different day and speaking is on different day, it might be morning, afternoon or evening. Yeah. So depending on that, you have to be observant on what the examiner actually asks you, and you have to respond in the similar way. So you say good afternoon, you can take the name or you can omit taking the name too. Okay, it's not wrong to take somebody's name. So, good afternoon, Sheetal. My name's Meenaal Fatma. Right? Now, couple of points that I want to give you a suggestion on. I have heard a lot of people say, good afternoon, Miss Sheetal Verma. Now, it is not the wrong way to approach someone, to acknowledge someone. So please skip using this miss sort of an additions. Try to not use. Yeah, even we often have a habit of using ma'am and sir. You can do that, that is fine, but don't use miss or mrs or mr. Don't do all those things. It's absolutely wrong when you especially greet someone. Okay, skip doing that. Secondly, so this was the first thing that I would like to tell you. Second thing that you can be careful about is where can you get a better score for your pronunciation. Even though this part of your speaking test is not scored, you can just use it to push yourself and build yourself for the further process to come up, right? Now, why I'm saying pronunciation, the moment you say my name is, you are not using contractions, right? You're not using contractions. The moment you use contractions, you score a little bit on the higher edge for your pronunciations, right? Just give me a second. Yep. So the moment you start using contractions, it gives you a higher chance of scoring well. They give you higher scores because you're elevating yourself to get better marks on pronunciation, right? So try and use contractions. They give you better marks on pronunciation, and also they make you sound a little bit confident over how you speak. Okay? So do remember that point too. Third point I also want to tell you and remind you is, now some people have very complicated names, and it's not essential that the examiner who is sitting is native to from wherever you come from. They might come from a different place to just take your test. So be careful that you say your name clearly and slowly. Okay? So instead of saying my name's Meenaal Fatma, I would say my name's Meenaal Fatma, right? So I'm just stressing on what my name is, so it's clear and evident as to what my pronunciation is. You don't want to confuse the examiner with your pronunciation, right? So especially with your names, because it might be a little complicated if you come from different parts of the country. So you have to understand and be nice and clear with your mentioning your name, right? So good afternoon, Sheetal. My name's Meenaal Fatma. Yeah, that's how I would say. Okay, so these were 3 important tips for your question 1. Try practicing it in the same manner. Next question is, they would say, what can I call you? Right? So obviously after you mention your full name, they would want to know what can they call you. Right? There are a couple of things that you can go for. Either you can say, you can call me Meenaal, or just call me Meenaal, or please call me Meenaal. Now you can have either of 3 guys. You can mention any of them, right? In a very polite and subtle way, you can use any of these 3. Now, couple of points, useful points that I want to tell you. I have heard a lot of people add additional information to it. Just to show off their language, they start adding additional informations. Don't do that. Try and be clear, crisp and to the point in this part, because first of all, you know, this part is not evaluated, right? This part is not evaluated, so you don't want to sound overly excited or banal by throwing unnecessary information. right? So don't try and add additional information. जो पूछा जा रहा है, try and stick to it. Try and stick as much as possible, right? Now, and also do not be too limited into what you speak. Don't be too limited. ये नहीं कि what can I call you मैं बोल दिया Meenaal, right? That's also a little rude, and that suddenly sounds very informal and suddenly sounds that you are intimidated with the person and you're not able to frame sentences, and you don't want to give that impression, I'm sure, right? So don't give one word answer. Also, if they're asking what can I call you, don't be rude to just say Meenaal, right? Use either of them. You can call me Meenaal, just call me Meenaal, or please call me Meenaal, right? Either of them you can use. So don't add additional informations and don't be too limited. Be to the point, crisp and clear, polite. Okay, so that's the second question. Next question is, they can ask you, where are you from? Or they could also ask, could you tell me where are you from? Either of the questions. So basically वो आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि आप कहाँ से belong करते हो, आप कहाँ रहते हो, right? So there could be different ways to answer. I like to use contractions, and you should prefer contractions too because they give you good scores, as I told you at the first part, in the first question as well. So I'm not going to elaborate on it again. Use that part for literally every part of your answer, even if it's part 1, part 2 or part 3. You could either say, I'm from Pune, I come from Pune, I'm from Pune, which is in Maharashtra. Yeah, which is in Maharashtra. So what I'm doing here is, I'm using either of the 3 statements, but yet I'm trying to not add too much information or eliminate unnecessary part of the sentence which I should mention, right? So I'm not just saying, where do you come from? Pune. So I don't want to give one-word answers, right? No one-word answers. Second, that you have to be careful about is, don't try and question back the examiner, right? So some people get very excited, they have to talk about their city, so they try asking or mentioning anything additional to the examiner. For example, I'm from Pune. It would be great if you could come down sometime. I can show you the place. You know, in the course of trying to be friendly, you don't want to put out too much of your sentences, right? Don't do all those. Don't put a question back. Don't put additional sentences back. Do not put a question back से मतलब है मेरा कि अगर मैंने कहा कि I'm from Pune, where are you from, right? Some people try and be over friendly. You don't have to do it, right? No going back to the examiner. Be careful on that, okay? And as I said, the best answer would actually be the third one. Why? Because I'm using a clause here, right? Because I'm trying to talk about, I'm mentioning Pune and I'm adding slightly a little bit more information in terms of location. I'm not doing anything too much, right? But I'm just mentioning the location, right? Just to keep it sure that even if the person is not from that particular place, I'm just telling it a little bit more elaborately, but not too much, right? So the moment I'm using a clause, I'm raising myself, I'm elevating myself to a higher standard of grammar. So I'm gonna get a better marks, right? Again, this is not a part where you get scored, but you are using yourself, you're just getting accustomed to how you're gonna answer, right? So that's an important part, that you do not add too much information. Let me just quickly write it for you here. And similarly, जैसे मैंने आपको उसकी बात की first question में about contractions, here you can also incorporate higher levels of grammar too to score marks. Yeah. Next question is, where they finally come to ask your ID. So they would ask, could I see your identification please? Or they could also say, could I see your ID please? They are the same things. Yeah, they are the same thing. You could say, here you are, sure, here you are, of course, here it is, right? So first of all, you need to practice your voice modulation automatically. You don't want to just say, just be quiet and just give away your ID card without saying anything. That's yet again rude, and that shows lack of confidence. Even if it's the tiniest of the sentence, you want to put it up. So if somebody is asking your ID card, normally you would just give them straight away, right? But for your exam, you have to make sure that you put out a statement. You say either of the three sentences, right? So make sure you do say something and do not be quiet and just give it away. And also, as again I'm mentioning you, don't start adding additional information to it. Stick to any of these three. They're simple, nice and crisp. So they're going to give you a little bit comfort and boost your confidence when you answer them, right? And also you have to remember that you're using all these 4 questions to just calm yourself, to just get familiar to the entire situation. Okay, so these were 4 questions that will be part of your part 0. Before I end the video, I want to quickly tell you about our Plus courses. In our Plus courses, you have to take subscription to attend. So if you want to study with me, you need to come to my live classes. So in case you guys have not yet followed me on Unacademy, make sure you download the Unacademy Learner app, or you can also go to the website of Unacademy, type my name correctly, put my name correctly, and you're going to see my profile. Make sure you follow me so that Unacademy can send you all updates about the upcoming classes and courses. Okay, and once you open my profile, you can go to the plus button, and you'll see all these courses, and all these courses have clear mentioning of their entire course details, and I've also made a small demo video which will explain you how we'll take the courses. And in this particular month of Feb, I've tried to cover all the 4 modules parallelly. I have one course which is going for reading. I recently finished on grammar. I have in task 1 writing, task 2 I also have listening, speaking courses, which I could not just fill all of them up here, but you can see it on my profile once you go to Unacademy. Now to attend these courses, you have to take the subscription. There'll be a subscription button right below my demo video. You have to click that and you will see this page popping up. Now for that, you will see you have number of options. You can see 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. I personally recommend that if you have time, if you're targeting a good band score, give yourself 3 months to get a good band score. If you're at the time of your revision and you want to strategically utilize your last few days properly, you need to take 1 month and then join me. Okay, now trust me guys, these prices are really economical. You would not find it anywhere. It's tried and tested. Okay, and also there are a lot of people who give their exams repeatedly. If you don't want to go through the stress, एक बार अच्छे से आके prepare कर लो, right? And also you have an option of getting a 10% discount if you use my referral code, which is Meenaal Live. So once you use my referral code, I'll be notified and we'll take it further. Couple of advantages that I want to mention about taking a subscription is, once you take a subscription, obviously you can attend my live courses. Now these live classes, if they have their scheduled timetables, now if you're not able to attend on those scheduled timetables, you have a flexibility to watch them later, right? You can watch them later, and because these videos are available offline too, once the class ends, these are available, and whenever you have time, you can go and watch them. And in case you're watching them later and you have a doubt, there's a doubt clearing session after every 3 class. You can put them up, or I'm also available if you take my referral code and I get a notification. I'm always available on Telegram too. I'll take it further with you like that. And also, if you use my referral code, you will get access to attend each and every educator's class in our platform. Okay, every educators की class, अगर दिन में 4 class भी हो रही है तो आप सबकी class attend कर सकते हो. ठीक है. Next point is that I think I covered all the points mostly. Yes, another very important point is that if in case you want to watch any of my previous courses which I've completed but you want to check out the videos, you also get an access to do that. आप मेरे videos जनवरी के देख सकते हो, दिसंबर के, नवंबर के, अक्टूबर के. You can see all the courses. So with just one click you have access to all the courses, all the educators and all the previous month's courses too, right? Isn't that great? Now in case you have any further questions, you can connect with me on Telegram, Instagram, on Facebook, and we can have a chat there, right? So the courses, guys, are starting really soon, so you need to take the subscription really soon. So make sure you go to my profile and get the subscription soon so I could see you guys in my class too. So in case you guys liked my video and it was productive for you, make sure you give a thumbs up and share it with your friends so more and more people can have a good lesson for themselves, right? So in the video, make sure you do give a thumbs up, and also if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe and press the bell icon. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a great evening.